Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Since you wrote the verse, you're in charge of chanting it. That's a tough one. Couldn't you have made it a little easier?
What did you say? What was the last part?
Shorten it a little bit for us, since you're writing. What is that? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Yamuna Tira Bonachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Bonachari Yamuna Tira Bonachari Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Sri Radha Madhava ki, Sri Radha Giridhari ki jai, Sri Radha Dhamadhara ki, srimadbhagavatam ki, Samaveda Bhakti ki jai. Go Premanandi, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, Sri Guru and Sri Ganga. Well, it's got my glasses and my notes. Just bring the whole bag. Hare Krishna. Is this loud enough for everyone? Because I'm over here. Is this loud enough for everyone? Yeah, I'm fine. I can hear myself. It's a question if you can hear me. If you're okay with it. Does it not still pipe into the kitchen? Okay, so this morning reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 7th chapter, verse 42. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Cheat sheet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devyam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudirayat. Hare Krishna. So, here we go. Everyone ready for this one? So, Deva Uchu. So, just try the Brahma Samhita verse, melody? No, just do it. Pura kalpa paye swakritam udari kritya vikritam. Tvam evadhyas tasmin salila uragindra dishayine. Puman seshe siddhar hidi vimsritat yad atma padavi. Sa evadyakshnor yat pati charasi britya avasi naha. This must be a chandi or swara just the demigods are familiar with. But do you know how it flows, or just? Oh. Tasmin salila ugrindra shayine. Puman se she siddhar hidi visant atma padavi. Sevadyakshnor yapati charisi brityan avasinaha. So he's Dravid is a demigod. Anyone else like to chant? Puraka paye suketam udari krita vikritam. Tvaevadyasya sin shalila ugendra daishayine. Puman se she siddhar hidi samasa yatma padivi. Sevadyaksha narpati charasi britam avana. Puraka papaye swakritam udari krita vikitam. Tvameva dhyastam sam salila ugadirinda dhyashayine. Puman se she siddhar hiri samisam atma padavi. Sevadyaksho pati charisi brityan avasinaha. Word for word. Devaha, the demigods. Uchu, said. Pura, formerly. Kalpa apaye, at the devastation of the kalpa. Swakritam, self-produced. Uddari kritya, having drawn within your abdomen. Vikritam, effect. Tvam, you. Eva, certainly. Adyaha, original. Tasmin, in that. Salile, water. Uruga Indra, Ansesha. Adishayane, on the bed. Puman, personality. Seshe, taking rest. Siddhai, by the liberated souls, like Sanaka, etc. Hriddhi, in the heart. Vimsrita, meditated on. Adhyatma Padavi, the path of philosophical speculation. Saha, he. Eva, certainly. Adhya, now. Akshnaho, of both eyes. Ya, who. Pati, on the path. Charasi, you move. Brityam, servants. Avasi, protect. Naha, us. Translation and purport. The demigod said, Dear Lord, formerly, when there was a devastation, you conserved all the different energies of the material manifestation. At that time, all the inhabitants of the upper planets, represented by such liberated souls as Sanaka, were meditating on you by philosophical speculation. You are therefore the original person, and you rest in the water of devastation on the bed of the Sesha snake. Now today you are visible to us, who are all your servants. Please give us protection. Pahimam, pahimam, pahimam. Okay. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The devastation indicated in this verse is the partial devastation of the lower planets within the universe when Lord Brahma goes to sleep. The higher planetary systems, beginning with Maharloka, Janaloka, and Tapaloka, are not inundated at the time of this devastation. The Lord is the creator, as indicated in this verse, because the energies of the creation are manifested through his body, and after annihilation he conserves all the energy within his abdomen. Another significant point in this verse is that the demigod said, We are all your servants, Britam, give us your protection. The demigods depend on the protection of Vishnu. They are not independent. Bhagavad Gita therefore condemns the worship of demigods because there is no need of it, and clearly states that only those who have lost their sense go asking favors of the demigods. Generally, if anyone has material desires to be fulfilled, he can ask Vishnu instead of going to the demigods. Those who worship demigods are not very intelligent. Besides that, the demigods say, We are your eternal servants. So those who are servants or devotees of the Lord are not very much concerned with fruitive activities, the performance of the prescribed yajnas, or mental speculation. They simply serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead sincerely with love and faith, performing everything with that loving service. And the Lord gives such devotees direct protection. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Simply surrender unto me, and I will give you protection from all the reactions of sinful activities. This material world is so created that one has to act sinfully, knowingly or unknowingly, and unless his life is dedicated to Vishnu, he has to suffer all the reactions of sinful activities. But one who surrenders and dedicates his life for the service of the Lord has direct protection from the Lord. He has no fear of suffering from sinful activities, nor does he desire willingly or unwillingly to do anything which is sinful. Om Agyanti Virandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksulunminitam Dena Taismai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchagapadrubhashya Kipa Sindhu Bevacha Patidanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. And so with your blessings, I'll try to say a few words that are pleasing and, what is the word? Has some value, like that. Useful, pleasing, not too offensive, and sweet, like that. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, like that. By Krishna's grace, so if I don't, I'm not able to do that, it's your fault because you didn't give me sufficient blessings. Because I'm dependent on your blessings to say anything. This is true. So let's speak from the srimadbhagavatam, which is very dear to all the Vaishnavas, and the big boat. It's the big boat in Kali Yuga to get out, to cross the ocean of these dangerous waters of the Kali Yuga. So, in the verse, this word philosophical speculation is there. Do you know the difference between philosophical speculation and mental speculation? Yes, what is it, Prabhu? Yes, so the great sages they're meditating. It says, by philosophical speculation, just contemplating Krishna's greatness, how he is great. And not, is he God or not God, or this or that, or, right? So philosophical speculation. So devastation, the Bhagavatam, the Vedic scriptures explain there are 3 types of devastation, 3 big ones. Now the big one, so they say here in California, they say, yeah, the big one's coming, right? The big one is when the whole material universe is wound up again within the Lord. There's a picture there in the corner of Mahavishnu. He's breathing, right? From his breathing, and Saromakupa, the hairs of his body, all the universes are coming, and then he inhales. And everything goes back inside. Everything is wound up again. The whole cosmic creation. Okay? Now the partial one referred to in this verse here is in each universe, when Lord Brahma goes to sleep at the end of one of Brahma's days. Actually, there are many different ones, kalpas and so on, but the Lord Brahma, he goes to sleep, and while he's sleeping, the universe fills up with water up to the higher planetary systems. So everything is covered for some time. And then when he wakes up, he's got a big waterbed like that. So, like they say, go to higher ground. That's Krishna consciousness. These residents of these higher planets are not at all disturbed by it. Just like Kali Yuga, we talk about Kali Yuga, in the heavenly planets, and it's like a bad day of weather or something like that. And the lower you go, it becomes more and more prevalent, like that. And then another one is the devastation we all have to be very conscientious of, is when our body's devastated or annihilated. That comes very quick. I mean, you can imagine being there on the day you get the news that the universe is going to be devastated or it starts filling with water. That's kind of tough. But that's a ways off, because Brahma's not going to sleep for a while. But how about our bodies? They'll be devastated or annihilated. In fact, there's one Sanskrit word for body is briksha. You know what briksha means? Now it's a name for a tree. Also means that's what's going to be cut down. It's guaranteed today or tomorrow our bodies will be cut down. It'll be over. Devastated. In fact, this is called martyaloka, which means death comes very quick. Like that. Oh, so-and-so passed away, so-and-so passed away, so-and-so passed away. It's happening every day. And we hear the warning living here on Grand Avenue. What's the warning? All day long. Sirens, right? You got the police, you got the fire engine station there, and all the ambulances day and night. And they turn it off at night. So if you're out there at night and before like 6 o'clock, they just put the lights on so they don't wake anyone up. So you're out there chanting japa in the morning, you see all they come up the street, they're still coming, but they don't have the sirens on, but the lights are all flashing. So I guess they pass an ordinance not to wake everyone up at 2 in the morning with the sirens, because they used to have them going on 24 like that. So these are warnings. So that's a devastation that will come. It's guaranteed to come, and it's coming very quickly like that. So another point here is that it says the Lord is the creator. Why is he the creator? Because he has all the energies, and he manifests them from his body, and also he pulls them back inside. So that he must be the creator, because he's the one who has all those energies and so on. I remember Sariputta gave a lecture. I think it's one of the origin lectures, where he talks about that we say that God is the beginning of everything, right? all the material energy and everything. Well, the atheist scientists, those are atheists, not all are atheists, the atheist scientists, and he said specifically, he mentioned Carl Sagan, who had a thing maybe back in the 80s or 90s, his Cosmos series about creation and everything, that why do you have to say there's a God? Why not just say material energy is eternal? It's always existing. Why do you have to say there's a God there? Why is this always the material nature is here? Well, the difficulty with that is, it's not just a matter of time, it's a question of potency. There's no potency in matter for creation. Matter by itself can't create everything and manifest intelligent form and everything that's going on. In fact, when you leave matter alone by itself, what do you get? Just like if no one cleans the patio, what happens? It just like cleans itself. Right? It just all falls apart. Everything just falls apart. When matter is left alone, it falls apart. And it doesn't fall apart into something better. Right? It just falls apart. What's that based on? How long you been waiting for it to get to... we don't have any experience of that. So the point he makes is just what Prabhupada's saying here, the demigods are saying, is that it can't just... Matter cannot be the source of creation. Like that. It's the material of creation, but it can't be the source. There has to be something outside that acts upon it. And just like anything we see in this world, if there's some design there, some intelligence, whatever, something, someone, we say someone, some intelligence has acted upon it to create it. Like that. So that's what's going on. So that's the demigods. That's one point they're making this. You must be the creator. You are the creator. Because all the energy is required, both the cause and the material itself is coming from the body of the Lord, which existed before the creation. Just like the creator always exists before his creation. Right? If you're going to throw a pot. Now you know what that means? Throw a pot? Yeah. You throw a pot. You ever do pottery? When you throw a pot, it means make a pot. I don't mean you take a pot and throw it at someone. You do that. Yeah, you guys do that. But throw a pot, you have your wheel, right? So the clay is there, you go and get the clay, and you're there, and you're the potter, right? And you sit there with your potting wheel, and they used to do it with your foot, now you have electric, and you make the pot. So who existed first, the pot or the potter? Yeah, it seems pretty obvious, but for a lot of people it isn't. No, you don't need a potter to make a pot. It just leave the clay there long enough, it becomes a pot. Well, no, it's ridiculous. Well, who put the robots together? Right? Other robots, okay. So then we have an endless regression here. So anyways, that's one point here, about there has to be a conscious being existing before any type of intelligent creation. That's our experience. So why not go with what our experience is? In other words, that's another argument, is that, maybe not, right? Maybe not. Maybe somehow or other, like you're saying, matter just kind of put itself together, and it just, given enough time, it all just worked out. Maybe. But that scenario is not a very intelligent scenario. We don't have any experience of whatsoever. If you were to ask anyone to place their money on that, right? They wouldn't place their money on it for anything, right? Like the ashram, they collected all this money for the ashram. Let's not hire a contractor. Let's just see in due course of time, if the tile lays itself and the shower gets fixed, then, right, a simple thing. Will you put your money on that? Just put everything there. Just wait long enough, something's going to happen, right? So no one will put their money on it. So the most plausible, why not go with that's most plausible? That's what we're saying. Because I can't prove it, right? You can't prove it, I can't prove it, but let's just go with the most plausible. The most plausible is there's probably some intelligence behind what's going on here. So, the example given also, I think it's in the Bhagavatam, about the spider. The spider, inside the body of the spider is everything there for the web, and they also retract it sometimes. That's something pull into like that. Amazing how the design there. And if you read books like Charlotte's Web, spiders even spelling stuff, right? Watch out, Hare Krishna. So intelligent. Actually, it is intelligent. You read books on it. The intelligence of that spider, the ability of the engineering ability is phenomenal. In fact, I was told some of that engineering expertise, they used those designs when they started building bridges. You know, those different kinds of bridges, the tension, I forget what they call it. So it's there in nature. But the point being that all that energy is within the body of the spider, expends it beautiful, beautiful web to catch dinner, right? That's what it's for, to catch dinner. And then, so in the same way, all the energy for the whole creation is there within the body of the Lord, and it becomes manifested. And he retracts it and manifests, and it's been going on eternally. That's the Vedic view. So, I've got a few more minutes here. Now, the demigods are saying here that we are your eternal servants. And Prabhu says here also that the message of the Bhagavad Gita, as far as demigod worship, is there's no need to worship the demigods. In fact, those who go to the demigods are called, what, alpametasam? Meager intelligence? Because antavatu palam tesham. Whatever you want from the demigods, they can only give you something very, very temporary. Very temporary. You can imagine how temporary it is from their point of view also. Just in this human form of life, we're asking for all these different blessings. You know, the demigods, they live for thousands and thousands of years, and we ask for something that lasts 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It's like the guy on the street says, "Hey, can you give me $1? Hey, can you give me $1?" Right? It's like, what's $1? But for them, it's something very amazing. It's like just a few dollars. That's all they need for something, right? So, there you go. Ah! But, so what's that? So amazing. The demigods, okay, take it, like that. But that's all they can give. That's why the Vaishnava Vidhi, when it comes to performing different sacrifices and so on, you bypass the demigods because they can only give material benedictions, and the devotees don't want material benedictions. That's why instead of worshipping Navagraha Devata, you worship the Navayogendras. You know, worshipping Ganapati, especially in South India, they worship Vishpakshena, who is the Lord Vishnu's chief commander-in-chief. Like that, you know, the different spiritual personalities. Instead of different matrikas and demigoddesses, you worship Lakshmi. You know, you worship different different female Shaktis of Krishna and the gopis and all, because they give spiritual benedictions. The parampara. They give spiritual benedictions, whereas the demigods can only give you a material benediction. That's all they can do. That's all they got in their pocket. That's all I got. Hey, take it or leave it. So the devotee's not interested. He wants something more. So, in fact, Krishna says, Mayayava vihitan hitan. What does that mean? You seem to be a good Gita scholar today. Mayayava vihitan hitan. That's what the Krishna is saying there in the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you're getting from the demigods is actually coming from me. It's coming from me. I give it to them to give to you. So why cut out the middleman? You know they say that in business? Cut out the middleman. Right? Why do you think Amazon.com has gotten so well? Just get it from us. And putting all these businesses out of business. Just get it from us. No middleman. Like that. So, and it's quite interesting. Prabhupada is saying here, the demigods are saying we're your eternal servants, and Prabhupada is saying as servants, they're also not so much interested in fruitive activities and things of this material world. Now, of course, there are different gradations of demigods, but those who are quite advanced, they do understand the futility of material existence. They get caught up in it from time to time, or to greater and lesser degrees, but because they're pious, a pious person can understand higher values in life. A pious person. An impious person can't. That's a currency for philosophical or spiritual vision, right? That's the currency. That's what you have to pay. You have piety, punya. Automatically all comes into focus, right? It just comes into focus. When people say, how can you see like that? You talk to someone about how they're not the body, they're spirit, soul. It doesn't register. And someone else, it registers completely. It has to do with the piety, the punya. That's all of a sudden, it just all makes sense. The punya. So, now the demigods, the point I want to make here is according to one's dependency on the Lord offers his protection. Now there's the verse here in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvam Dharmam Parichaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. This is what Prabhupada's quoting here. Give up all other kind of plans. They're not your real Dharma. They're there, but they're not your real Dharma. Sarvam Parichaja Mam Ekam. What does that mean? Mam Ekam. Yeah, only Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. Sharanam, take shelter of me. Exclusively. Now, what does Krishna do for someone like that? What's the rest of the verse? Yeah, that's what I'm saying here. I give you full protection. Don't fear. Don't be in anxiety. I'll take care of everything. Krishna says. And that is offered to every single living entity. It's not exclusive. Every single living entity is given the same offer. Doesn't matter. Every single living entity is given the same offer because Krishna has the same affection for every living entity. Isn't that wild? That's a difficult one to swallow or understand or comprehend. But Krishna's affection for the lowest of the low, how you want to define that, and the highest of the high is the same. His affection. But we're the ones who've put ourselves in that position, But he's there. Like that. So that exclusive full protection of the Lord is there. Now the demigods, those who are materialistic, their idea of protection is what? Protect my material assets. Right? God is good to me now. You've heard that one before? That's a... whether it's east or west, the idea is that proof that you're following the true religion or that you have the favor of God is that your material situation is very, very nice. That's proof. And what they're saying is if your material situation isn't very good, you're doing something wrong in the eyes of God. That's the conclusion. So God is good to me now. Remember Terry Cole Whitaker? I don't know if she's still Bhakti Terry. Terry Cole Whitaker. Remember her? Terry Cole Whitaker? Remember? Yeah, she was here in SanDiego. Back in the 90s, we all went to see her. And but the one big service downtown. And that was the whole thing. And she's attracting all these people because her message, one of her main messages was that material prosperity, that's what you'll get from worshiping God. And it's a proof God is good to me now. That if everything is, and one of the ways you can ensure that is big donations. Like that. But, so that's the material, you can say that's materialistic religion, right? God is good to me now, all this material prosperity, I'm praying to God for these things, and He's reciprocating. There's a sign that God likes me. And if I don't have a good situation, maybe God doesn't like me. Why me? Why me? We complain. God, what did I do? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? So, and it's for the Vaishnavas, it's interesting, or just that pastime there in the Bhagavatam, that Maharaj Parikshit asked, why is it that Lord Vishnu, the Lord of the Vaishnavas, is Lakshmi Pati? He's the husband of the goddess of fortune, and his devotees are like barely squeeze out a dime or a rupee. They have no money. They have no facility. They always live in poverty and so on. And on the other hand, you got Lord Shiva, who is his consort is Durga herself, the material energy personified. He's living homeless in the sense that he lives under a tree. Barely wears any clothes, like that. No place of residence. And somehow his devotees, so much opulence, and he satisfies the material desires of his devotees. It seems odd. Vishnu, who is the Supreme Lord, right, the husband of the goddess of fortune, his devotees barely have anything, and then Lord Shiva. Why is this? Why is this? So what was the answer? The answer was actually the Lord Vishnu's devotees have the greatest opulence because they have him. They have devotional service, those are opulences which are imperishable. What does that mean, imperishable? What's the opposite of imperishable? Perishable. Right? So everything Lord Shiva gives, everything in this material world is perishable today or tomorrow. If it's not today, it's going to be tomorrow. That will come. You know that expression, today or tomorrow? It really is today or tomorrow, because it happens, and it's either today or tomorrow. It's gone. Whereas the opulences that the Supreme Lord gives are imperishable for the devotee. And that means actually our Krishna consciousness. Krishna's giving the real gift, the real thing, because everything in this material world is Maya. What does that word mean? Maya. Not this. It's not this. And that's the illusion. That's why it's also considered illusion, because you think it's something, but it isn't. You think something is, but it's not. That's amazing, isn't it? That's our material existence. We think it, but it is not. It's here, and then it's gone. So, and great devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, or you have the Pandavas, or Draupadi, there's so many histories are there of devotees who are 100% dependent upon Krishna, and Krishna protected them 100%. No, it's about time to end, so we could speak for half hour on Prahlad Maharaj and the Pandavas and Draupadi and throwing up her arms and that little pot of when they were in the forest. She was given that pot. So Durvas Muni gave her the pot. Yeah, this is pot that. While they were in the forest, that whatever she cooked, it'd be enough for however many people she had to feed. Then when she was the last one to take, then it stopped. That mystic potency ended. So she had just finished the meal, and Durvas Muni came, and he wasn't one to travel by himself. You know how many people he usually brought with him? His disciples. How many disciples? 60,000. 60,000. Imagine that. Trying to arrange for 60,000. Anyways, they're coming. And they hear they're coming, and they go, oh my goodness, this is Durvas Muni, who's you do not want to upset. You know some people that you don't feel bad if you upset them, but there are other people, if you upset them, it's like, oh no, we don't want to upset this person. Don't want to upset this person. Hard to do, Vas, okay, also bad dresser also, so he's a difficult personality. But he also has a soft side because he gives different benedictions at different times. But anyways, he's showing up, and the etiquette is, here's a saintly person, all his disciples, we are the king and queen, the Maharaj Yudhisthira royal family, you have to feed them, you have to make sure they're welcome very nicely. So what to do? And Draupadi's flipping out, and all flipping out, so Maharaj Yudhisthira quickly thinks, why don't you all just go for your bath in the river, and then when you come back, everything will be arranged. Maharaj, please refresh yourselves. So they all go down there. You imagine the scene, 60,000, and all bathing in the river, And then what to do? There's no solution in sight, but as a devotee, what do? You call out to Krishna. Krishna, there's nothing. I have nothing. There's no Govinda. So Draupadi, and all of a sudden Krishna shows up. Krishna says, I'm hungry. Do you have anything for me? I just happen to be in the neighborhood. And Draupadi goes, now I'm going to offend Krishna. I'm going to offend Krishna now, and then I got to turn around, I'm going to offend Durvas Muni. This is it. What a life. Like that. Krishna says, no, you got to have something. And she looked in the pot, and there was a little tiny bit of some sabji or something in the pot. Krishna said, can I have that? She said, okay. Gave it to Krishna. Krishna took that. Very delicious. I am so satisfied. And it's described that, what is that? Jagat Tushta, something Tushta. When Krishna is satisfied, the whole universe is satisfied. So not only was Krishna satisfied, all the Pandavas felt very full. And it says even the Devatas, all in the heavenly planets, everyone felt, oh man, we just had a big feast. I am so full. And then all of a sudden, everyone in the water, Durvasa and 60,000 disciples, like, oh, they started belching and everything. Oh. And they also think, oh no, we're supposed to go back and have a meal, Yudhisthira, and we won't be able to eat even a grain of rice. This is a great offense. Someone invites you to a nice meal, and you say, no thank you. That's an offense. So to have a little fun, Krishna says, Bhima, why don't you take your club and go down to the river and tell everyone lunch is ready. So Bhima goes down there with his big club, and goes, Prasadam! Prasadam! He starts calling out, and they'll go, oh, that's Bhima, and he gets angry, and he's got his club. So what to do? So they all ran for it. They just like got out of it, just disappeared. So Krishna had a little fun like that. So, because of their full, there's one story there in the Mahabharata, because of their full dependence on Krishna, Krishna always protected them. Always came to them. Because I have nothing else. And we'll end with this example that's given, is if you have a family, anyone grow up with a family with a few siblings? One? Just one? One? How many? 3. Who's the youngest? Your sister. So who got the most attention? The sister. The youngest. Usually the youngest one gets all the attention. Because they're helpless. Right? They're helpless. At least when they're very young. Then they get a lot of attention when they get older, because sometimes they goof on everyone and they get used to getting that attention. But anyways, if one's helpless, the baby in the family, oh, the baby. And because they're helpless. They get all the attention. So one who feels himself helpless in the presence of the Lord, like that, Krishna just comes and takes care of us. So feeling helpless, and that's the mood of our chanting, Prabhupada said, the mood of our devotional service. I'm helpless. Like that. I'm nothing, I'm helpless, I'm worthless. Krishna, please accept whatever little I have. I'm your eternal servant. This is the mentality of the Vaishnava, which is condemned by the materialist. Condemned by the materialist. But that's the Vaishnava mentality. I'm a humble servant of the Lord. So we can end on that note. Questions or comments? Yeah. Okay. There you go. Everyone's satisfied. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Janardhan Das, Major. Well, we'll open it up. I'm sure there's some conversation. You're here for?
I'm here for an interview.
Who are you interviewing?
I was
Balaram?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, you landed right in the middle of a class. Okay. You have a question?
So you mentioned earlier that Krishna's devotees are poor. So is it always a fact that when you become Krishna's devotee, you lose all your money? And if that is the case, why would anybody want to become Krishna's devotee?
Okay. Well, that's an interesting question. No, it is not a fact that automatically when you become a devotee of Krishna, you lose all your money. That's not a fact at all. There are obviously people with vast sums of money, and there are very, very poor devotees. Actually, what we're trying to lose is the mentality that this money is mine. And the Prabhu says in Kali Yuga, a pauper is proud of their penny. So if I have $1 billion and I realize every single penny is the property of God, and I have $1 billion, am I more of a materialist than the person who has $1 and thinks, this is mine, I'm going to do what I want with it? Who's the materialist? The dollar man. So it's the mentality that the devotee loses. But also, what is that verse there? Yasyam anugrahami. Krishna will, if our material situation is an impediment to our Krishna consciousness, Krishna will gradually take it all away to help us. Right? That's it, to help us. You know, just like you're a child, if you don't play with your toys properly, I'm going to take them away till you learn how to play with them. You know, if you're not nice to so-and-so, you can't play with them. So that's what happens. You don't know, if we don't know how everything's supposed to, well, we're just going to be taken away for a while. In fact, that's why, as unfortunate as it is, there'll always be poor people, there'll always be people who are down and out, because their karma is such, what they've done in the past, this lifetime, they're learning a tough lesson. I mean, that doesn't mean you're not helpful and so on, but we have to have that vision that that's what's going on. Due to karma, Some people have very, very little, because in the past they didn't utilize those resources very well, might have hurt other people, weren't charitable, this and so in this lifetime that's how it feels. Karma's a mirror, that's what you get. So that's what happens. So the Lord is always moving things in such a way to help everyone learn whatever lesson has to be learned. So you have another 24 hours. What are all the lessons we're going to learn today? What kind of lesson do you think you're going to get today? Good one, bad one, tough one, easy one? All of us today are going to get some lessons in life. That's why I sometimes quote Mr. Rohn. Jim Rohn is a nice gentleman, passed away years ago, quite a wise person. But he always would say that don't try to get through the day, just try to get from the day. In other words, people, I just got to get through the day. It's Monday. It's Tuesday. Right, just get through another day. No. What did you get from the day? You've had, 12 hours of being conscious, maybe more. What did you get from the day? What did you learn? That's how we should approach our time. So what did we learn? What did Krishna teach us today? What do we have to look forward to? What do you think is going to happen? In fact, that's why many, many people will say when it comes to journaling or this or that, at the end of each day, take a few minutes to remember the day and go through. What did you learn? What could I have done better? What could I, difficulties I could have avoided? Well, how could I have made it better? To contemplate, In fact, there's a verse in the Bible about every so many years you stop and you actually take a year off to contemplate the previous years. Your business, your life, your this, all. It's very important to think about these things. How's that for an answer? Went really off on all kinds of tangents, didn't I? Well, let's see if anyone on this side, then we'll go back. Prabhu. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Another interesting one-liner in the purport, Srila Prabhupada chopping like his own spiritual master, chopping guru, so how do we get to continue on worship only less intelligent or worship continuing on? He says, generally if anyone has material desires to be fulfilled, you can ask Krishna, ask the Lord instead of going to the big guy. So that's there in the second
Yeah. Yeah. It's not, you can't go around Krishna. How can you go around the Supreme Lord who's in everyone's heart, who's conscious of everything? Right? Vedaham samatitani vartamani charjuna bhavishani chabhutani mamta veda kashtana. Krishna says, I know all living entities, everything past, present, and future. I know past, present, I know all living entities, past, present, and future, but me no one knows. So how can you go around someone who knows it already? Right? He's got your number. He's just allowing the living entities this play in the material world, and the demigods, they're fulfilling your desires, and you got to pray. It's all part of the mix there, of the material movements of the material nature, and the living entities gradually working their way out. But you can't go around Krishna. I don't think I'm going to ask Krishna for this one. I can just keep it quiet. I got to keep this one quiet from Krishna. This is like, I don't want to ask Krishna. I don't want Krishna to know about this one. It's not going to happen. It's not going to. He already knows. Yeah, he already knows. It's in your heart. So why not ask? Anything else? You had a question. You said.
Did you have someone assigned to operate the microphone during questions?
You're asking the wrong person.
We should assign someone to
Is he in India now? Is that what it was? It was
I just don't think it was
Kumar?
general, but it was writing that with wireless.
Yeah, it's for questions. Now, is that so we can hear? Because they can't hear in the kitchen, apparently, still. Oh, okay. Okay, so if it's out here. Oh, the broadcast. So who before assigning, is there someone who just like would love to do that service, who's here every day in Bhagavatam class and would consider it the cat's meow if they had that service every day of facilitating the Bhagavatam being heard? Did anyone jump forward on that one? Okay, there you go, Jamal. So Jamal's got it. So we can end here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.